Hello everyone! I thought you might like to see how I made this shadow box Valentine card, which I've done using materials that I have already, so it's very economical and which I think brightens up a very dull January. So here I'm using my X-cut heart dies, which go from 11 centimeters to 3 centimeters, and the Amy's wintertide die, from which I had trees, my unbranded deer and trees die. I also use my curly tree die for decoration and a tattered lace mini heart. So I've got 3 sheets of A4 card, 210 grams per square meter, and I cut into 14.8 centimeter squares, which allows me to get 2 per A4 sheet. I've got 5 sheets that I'm going to be using, so I've got 1 left over for other decoration, and with the very big heart I'm cutting out the front piece. Now then I take the 9 centimeter heart and put it on the second sheet with the 11 centimeter hole over the top and center it, and that enables me to make sure that everything works perspective wise without having to use tape or a tape measure. And I'm just showing you the 2 cards together to show you how well that works. So I carry on with the 7 centimeter heart, and again positioning with a slightly larger one on top so that I can center it, and once again you can see how that is developing, and I go down to the 5 centimeter heart, which is my back heart shaped piece. And again I'm centering it. I take off the top cards, but I leave 1 card so that I know it's centered, and that comes out beautifully. So the final piece, because I've got 5 cards, I'm going back to use the 7 centimeter die, and that's because I'm going to be putting some blue vellum, as a little scrap that I've got left over, at the back to make a window. And I also use the large heart inner shape that I cut out from the 11 centimeter die together with that 7 centimeter heart to make a rim, which just neatens that back piece. Now here I've got the decoration on my 5 centimeter heart with a little tattered lace heart in the middle and little bits of my curly tree with a bird and a box. Now these are the 4 sheets of the picture. The little heart I've shown you. The next one down on the bottom right, I've just put a little bush at the side. Top left, I've put some slightly bigger trees, and then finally on the front piece I've put the deer facing inwards with a little decoration from my curly tree. I use concertina folded card to assemble my shadow boxes, and I've cut one out here 5 inches because I like folding a ½ inch because it's slightly better than 1 centimeter by 14.8 centimeters, and I've marked where I need to stick, and that's going from back to front. So each one is where I'm going to stick. The last one is the front piece, which is slight exception because I want it to be right on the front and not overlapped. So I use double-sided tape, and I'm just doing what would be the second insert on my card from the front. So I'm just slotting it in, making sure it's lined up straight and it sticks firmly. And then I'm going to do the opposite side immediately, because otherwise it's very easy to get the card in the wrong folds and you end up with a rather lopsided shadow box. So again, checking that I've got the right space and the right mark, I'm putting my double-sided tape on. You could use PVA glue as well, that works just as well. And I'm lining it up vertically just to make sure that I've got it right before I stick it in place. Once I'm happy, then I'm going to position the card just as I did before, and I'm going to be pressing it down nice and flat. So that is my insert, one in from the front piece, and I carry on going to the next marked bit of fold, and I'm going to put my tape on once again, and I'm going to connect a second bit of card. This is just a demonstration to show you how it's done, mostly because my video didn't work when I thought I was recording with my proper card, so I've done 3 already. So this is exactly how it goes, and once I'm happy with that side, then yet again I'm going on to the opposite side to keeping those cards for the shadow box to be nice and straight. So I'm lining it up carefully, a bit of fiddling around with my fingers, it's always fiddling around, and then just pressing, and I've got the shadow box starting to build. Now I'm going to take you onto my card where I've got as far as the 5 centimeter heart. I've been working from the front to the back except I haven't added the front piece, and I've just got to do the second side of the insert with the 5cm heart piece on it, and I'm using my double-sided tape yet again and make it look very difficult, but in fact it's quite easy. It's just my hands that don't work very well. So pressing down nice and flat and scoring it, folding it on those scored lines. So there I've got the back piece of my heart, and I am going to do the back insert now, and it's just on the inside of the final fold, and I'm putting tape in again, and I'm taking my heart with its blue vellum, the larger heart, so that the light can shine through that little one, and positioning it carefully in place. Any excess tape that you've got can easily be trimmed. I'm just not bothering at the moment for the demonstration. And I'm going to be doing the opposite side again on the inside fold, so that the back actually folds over the back of the final insert. So yet again I'm just positioning it and pressing it down, and I'm making sure that I'm pressing on all the concertina to keep that shadow box nice and flat, because after all it does have to go into an envelope. Once I'm happy, then I go round to finish the front. Now the way I do the front is I run the tape on the outer edge, because I want to cover it completely with my final square, and I'm doing both sides with tape before I stick the final piece on. That way I can make sure that it is absolutely straight and lined up well. So once I've done that, then I take my final scene, make sure I've got it the right way round, and just position it. I don't press down heavily at this stage, because I often have to just maneuver it a little bit, and I just press firmly once I am happy that I've got it where it should be. Once I am happy, then I can press using my hands and take it down completely flat. And there is my card, almost finished but not quite, because I've got to do the final decoration on the front. Now what I've done for that is I've taken my little curly tree dies and cut out some die cuts, and I'm going to be snipping them to make my decoration. So I'm snipping the base of a tree. I'm going to use 2 trees, and they're going to be for the bottom corners. I'm taking off the side branches, and as you see it leaves a sort of arrow shape at the top, and I'm just going to trim that, because I'm going to have my decoration as little cupid arrows running into the side of the heart shape from the top corners. So again, I needed 2 little die cuts to do that, and I'm doing a little mock-up just so that I can work out that I'm happy with my design before I actually stick it in place and possibly regret it. So I'm just putting the little cupid hearts in position. I've cut out another little white heart from my Tattered lace mini die, and once I'm happy, then I am going to be putting PVA glue on and dabbing it all the way around before sticking it in place. So I've already done one corner piece, and I'm just doing the other, and it's got to be quick, because otherwise you find that it sticks to the paper. And so carefully taking it off, trying to make sure it's symmetrical with the other one on the opposite side, and trying to extract my fingers, I just dab it in place. Sometimes you need just a little bit of extra glue, and with a small brush that really isn't a problem. I've got a little sticky up piece just at the edge there, and just a tiny bit more glue, and I'm happy, and it can be pressed into position. I'm going to do exactly the same with the top, taking my little Cupid's hearts, Cupid's arrows, and dabbing them with PVA glue, and I'm going to be positioning them in those top corners. As you can see, I've done one already. This is the second one, which I'm just positioning again quite carefully. And if I need any extra glue, which I think I'm probably going to, I just use my little brush and dab a little bit on. But it works really well, and I think it gives a nice embossed effect without actually having used an embosser at all. So very economical, and I think looks quite attractive. I've finally just got to stick my little white heart on, which I'm going to do with PVA glue. And I decided that it would be nice to add a little bit of the traditional red to this scene, because Valentine's Day is always about red hearts. So I've cut out another little tattered lace mini heart out of a recycled Christmas card, and once I've put the white one in place, I stick the other one on top, because that just gives a little bit of extra dimension to the card. So there is the card, complete with its decoration on the front and ready to be folded. Here's the final thing standing up, and I hope you agree that that bit of extra colour just gives it a little something special. And now you can fold that card flat, it can go in an envelope, be sent to somebody special. You can write on it or not as you care to, but I hope that you found inspiration, and no doubt you'll do your own decoration. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back here soon.